Hi everyone. In the last session, we have seen single quadrant chopper fed DC drives. That was forward motoring and regenerative braking conditions. So in today's session, we'll see the two quadrant chopper fed DC drives. So with type A two quadrant chopper and type B two quadrant chopper. So how it is working, that we'll see in today's session. So first we'll see the type A two quadrant chopper. With type A two quadrant chopper, the power circuit diagram is shown here. The supply voltage is connected across the DC motor by using two control switches. As we are using two control switches, we'll get the two quadrant of operation along with the two uncontrolled switches in parallel with the controlling switches, that is two diodes. So S1, D1, S2, D2 are the switches and supply voltage V. The corresponding armature voltage is VA and armature current is IA. The motor equivalent is RA, LA and back EMF E. Okay. Here coming to the operation, to get that two quadrant operation, there are two controlling switches S1 and S2. So both need to be operated to get the required operation. That is nothing but, let us assume S1 is operated. Initially S1 is operated. S1 is operated means S1 need to turn on and turn off. This S1 and S2 are the complementary switches, and anyway, we need to turn on the S1 alone first. S1 need to be operated means when S1 is operated, during that time your S2 is open, only we are controlling the S1 switch alone. So S1 is operated, we are turning on the S1. When you are turning on the S1, the supply voltage is positive because positive voltage will appear across the load. Your armature voltage is equal to V and the corresponding current will energize the inductor LA. That means LA energizes. So now S1 is off. We need to turn off the S1. When you turn off the S1, the stored energy in the inductor, this is open circuit. Anyway, this is reverse bias. This is not operating. So D1 alone will try to allow the stored energy in the inductor, or the inductor will current makes the diode D1 into the forward bias so that the loop will become like this. During the LA de-energizes. Earlier when switch S1 is open, when switch S1 is closed, LA energizes in this path. Now when switch is off, the stored energy in the inductor current need to allow the current in the same direction, that an LA will de-energizes through this D1 path, because S2 is closed, S2 is open, S1 is open, diode D2 is in reverse bias, only D1 is in forward bias for the LA energy. That's why LA de-energizes through the D1 path. When D1 conducts, it will de-energize. The inductor current again, it is in the positive direction only. But what about VA's armature voltage is, the short circuit across the motor will make the armature voltage as 0. With switch S1 on and diode D1 on, your armature current is always positive, but your voltage can be either positive or 0. So that's why armature current is always positive with voltage either positive or 0. That's why it is operated in the first quadrant, that is forward motoring mode with this operation. Now the next switch S2 is operated. When S2 is operated, when you turn on the S2 switch, this S1 is open and diode D2 also reverse bias for the supply. Hence the entire supply voltage is nowhere, it is connected with the motor. Now motor back EMF will work like a source, and when S2 switch is open, the inductor will charge, or it will energizes in the opposite direction to the assumed direction of the current. In the negative way, it will energize. Your inductor current is opposite to the armature current. That's why your IA will be negative when switch S2 is alone operated, because E will become source. This is positive, negative, that makes the E as a source, and your current will become opposite to this assumed or conventional IA direction. So that's why when S2 is conducts, LA energizes in the opposite direction, in the upward direction. When S2 is off, when switch S2 is off, the stored energy in the inductor need to discharge. While discharging, the S1 is off, S2 is also off, diode D1 will be in reverse bias. The stored energy in the inductor will make the diode D2 forward bias and it will flow into the source in this direction. So during the de-energizing of that stored energy in the inductor, when switch S2 is off, it will turn on the diode D2 and LA de-energizes. That's why here when switch S2 is operated, your supply voltage, your armature voltage is 0, because when switch S2 is operated, simply short circuit across the motor, your supply armature voltage is 0. And what about the current? Current is flowing in the opposite direction. When switch S2 is operated, it is flowing in the opposite direction. When diode D2 is also operated, it is flowing in the opposite direction, to the assumed direction. That's why it will come into the second quadrant. This operation, when switch S2 is operated, means that will operate in the second quadrant with VA positive or 0, with IA negative. Okay, with IA negative. That's why it is operated in the regenerative braking mode, forward regenerative braking mode. So here, simply for understanding this, S1 is operated, S2 is operated, has considered here. In briefly, we can see that when switch S1 or D2 is on, when S1 and D2 is on, what is your voltage? That we'll see. When switch S1 is on, your supply voltage is positive. When diode D2 is on, that time also it will give the positive voltage across the armature. When switch S2 and D1 are on, your voltage across the motor is 0, because simply short circuit across the motor. From this we have written these things. What about the current? IA is positive when switch S1 and D1 are on. When switch S1 is on, inductor will charge in this direction. To discharge the energy in the inductor, the current need to flow in the same direction through D1. That's why when switch S1 and D1 are on, your IA is positive, and when switch S2 is on, without supply, when switch S2 is on, your current is opposite direction, and to discharge the stored energy in the inductor, the D2 need to forward bias. That means when switch S2 and D2 are on, your IA is negative. That's why IA is reversible with VA is greater than or equal to 0. That makes the VA is greater than or equal to 0 and IA is reversible. So here from this diagram we understood that VA can be either positive or 0, with IA can be positive or negative. That is, IA is reversible. That's why we are getting the two quadrant operation. If you see the corresponding waveforms, so here when we turn on the switches, the source voltage is constant. When we turn on the switches, you may get the positive voltage or 0 voltage. Positive voltage or 0 voltage. Again positive voltage, 0 voltage. Let us assume the turn on period is T on and turn off period is T off. Total time is T. So if you see the current, the voltage can be positive or 0 only. From this we understood that voltage can be positive or 0 only, but current can be positive or negative based on the switching sequence. So when will be the, as this is inductive type nature load, so obviously your current lags the supply voltage. Your voltage starting at 0 point means your current may lag the voltage by some angle. Let us assume from here onwards it is starting. For positive voltage, if you want to get the positive voltage, what are the switches need to turn on? S1 and D2. When switch S1 is on, your inductor need to charge, right? When switch S1 is on, you are getting the positive voltage between these two dotted lines. Your inductor is charging in the positive direction. Now the stored energy in the inductor need to discharge, means it need to decrease its current. During the discharge period of the inductor, the diode D1 will take place, right? With the positive discharge current diode D1. During that time voltage should be 0. That's why voltage is 0 for the discharge current. Next, when switch S2 is on, with the back EMF as a source, the inductor current or armature current is opposite to the assumed direction. That means IA is negative, and also the inductor is negatively charging. On the negative side, it is energizing. The corresponding voltage is 0. And next, to de-energize the inductor stored energy, it need to discharge, right? It need to discharge in the same direction, negative direction only. On the negative side, it need to discharge through the diode D2. That's why D2 switch. So one complete cycle from S1, D1, S2, D2. It will continue. Before that, also D2. So in this way, the corresponding turn on time by total time will give the delta duty ratio. VA is equal del into V is the average output voltage. When during the duty interval, when the switches are on between 0 to T on, your voltage is equal to V, VA is equal to V, which is equal to the IA into RA plus LA into DIA by DT plus E. During the off period, VA is equal to 0 because voltage across armature is 0. So 0 is equal to the corresponding KVL at the motor equivalent. So that is called the freewheeling period. When S2 and D1 are on, those are called the freewheeling period. Let us assume. So here what is IA here? Our VA is equal to E plus IA into RA for motor. VA is equal to E plus IA into RA. From this, what is VA? VA is equal to the average voltage. VA is equal to E plus IA into RA. Average voltage across inductor is 0. So from this, IA is equal to VA minus E by RA, whereas VA is equal to del into V. That's what I have substituted here, del into V minus E by RA. So to get the positive armature current during the forward motoring operation, we need to get the positive armature current. To get the positive armature current, your del V should be greater than E, because here del is control parameter. We can control the duty ratio of the converter, right? So duty ratio, by controlling this duty ratio, you can either make the del V greater than E or less than E also. When del V is greater than E, your current is positive, hence it is in motoring mode. When del V is less than E, your current is negative, because del V is less than E. By controlling this duty ratio, we can bring the first term, del V is less than E. That makes the drive into the regenerative braking mode, because in the negative current, it will enter into the regenerative braking mode. Now we got the voltage equation. You substitute that same voltage equation in the speed equation. Omega m is equal to E by K pi. That is nothing but E is equal to VA minus IA RA by K pi. Del V by K pi. VA is equal to del V, right? Del V by K pi minus RA by K pi square into T, because T is equal to K pi into IA. So here we need to remember that the del is controlled parameter. By controlling the duty ratio of the converter only, we can get into the either forward motoring mode or forward regenerative braking mode. Okay, so if you see the corresponding characteristics, speed torque characteristics, the forward motoring characteristics will be extended into the braking mode, that is into the second quadrant. So here, so as del is duty ratio, del is decreasing. So as del is decreasing, for more value of del, it is del into V by K pi, right? For more value of del, your omega is more. For less value of del, your characteristic will shift downward in the forward motoring as well as in the forward braking also. So these are the speed torque characteristics. So with two quadrant type A chopper or two quadrant type A chopper, we can get the two quadrants, that is first quadrant and second quadrant, forward motoring and forward braking in this way. There is another type of converter to get the two quadrant operation, that is type B two quadrant chopper. Earlier we got positive voltage alone, but IA is reversible. IA can be positive or negative. So here your voltage is reversible with IA is always positive, with this type of converter. So with this type of chopper, supply voltage is connected. Again here we are getting the two quadrants. That's why as two control switches are there, we'll get the two quadrants. We need to operate these two control switches. So when we are turning on this S1 and S2, S1 and S2 are turned on means your plus will appear across the armature and minus will appear across the armature, right? Positive voltage appear across the armature, that makes VA is equal to plus V. When diode D1 and D2 are on, diode D1 is on means it is your entire voltage is appearing in the negative direction, right? Let us assume this is A and this is B. So when diode D1 and D2 are turned on means your VA armature voltage plus will appear across B at B and minus is appearing at A. That makes the VA is equal to minus V. That's why here VA is reversible. But when switch S1 and S2 are turned on, the inductor will charge from A to B. The stored energy in the inductor need to discharge in the same direction, right? When switch S1 and S2 are off, the stored energy in the inductor need to discharge in the same direction means diode D1 and D2 will be forward bias for the inductor energy. The inductor current will allow or it will flow in the same direction, diode D2 and D1. That makes the current always positive with voltage positive or negative. Hence it is operated in the first and fourth quadrant. Hence it is operated in the first and fourth quadrant. This is not a popular converter and it is only used in the field circuit where the field current quick reversal is required. There only will use this type of converter. This is not popular type of converter. So this is another way to get the first and fourth quadrant. Two quadrant, but it is first and fourth quadrant. So with this type of converter. So this is all about the two quadrant chopper drives. In the next session we will see the four quadrant chopper drive where we can get all four quadrant operations, that is forward motoring, forward braking, reverse motoring and reverse braking operation. So we need to use the four controlling switches to get that four quadrant operation. Thank you all.